Hello and welcome back to more Rust, episode 3 here. And as you see, we've come in here and we're looking at the big rad town, and we're looking at the replacements that have replaced zombies in previous episodes. These are the new zombies. They're red wolves and bears. And so I've just been kind of running around gathering more resources for our little shack. And I've come across this group of them, and I think I'm going to start hunting them just to show, you know, what kinds of items you can get from these types of red animals. So let's just start shooting at them. And you see they fall and they drop a little case. So if you pick it up, so now we've got some 5.56 ammo. We don't really have any means to shoot 5.56 just yet, but eventually we will. There's a bear. Whoop, that missed. That was a little dicey there. So if you see bleeding, it'd be a good idea to hit number 2 there, the med kit, and that'll stop your bleeding. Of course, it won't heal you too well, but it'll stop your bleeding. So I'm just eating food to heal up a little bit. That was kind of dumb. I probably should have just shot another arrow at him, but I decided to try to be all cool and stuff. Okay, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of these creatures here. Let's see if we can nail another one. There we go. Gotcha. Now if you notice, you only get 2 whacks out of these red ones. And we have a pickaxe. That is awesome. We just found a pickaxe. So that'll make our mining a little bit easier. This is a bad, precarious situation here. Ooh. Let's see if we can nail this guy. And one more should do it. Got him. Okay. And blueprints. Okay, now these are the things you're going to really want to be looking for when you're doing these kinds of things. They let you craft stuff that you can't normally craft. So we're going to right-click and hit study. And now we're able to craft the laser sight, which for now isn't really too good because we don't really have many guns at all. But later it's going to be good. So let's just keep hunting here. Hopefully none of them will spawn right on top of us. Oop, that was a whiff. There's one. And gunpowder. So these guys will drop extra things that you can't normally pick up from anything else. And one more ought to do it. Just a nick of time. And more shotgun shells. Okay, now like I said, eventually we'll raid this area, not just yet. I just was kind of walking around looking for more wood, and I happened to stumble upon those red animals and kind of wanted to show the types of things you get from hunting them. Ooh, radiation. Okay, so I seem to have accumulated a great deal of radiation. I'm going to eat some food, and you see the radiation has gone back down to 400. So that's a good example of what happens if you get too much rads. I was kind of careless and wasn't watching it, and so that's what can happen. And your health will just slowly go down to nothing until you either eat something, or get out of the radiation zone, or take a rad pill, which you can find. And you mainly, ironically, find them in the radiation zones. So it's just about nightfall. We are going to head back to our little camp here and continue to construct the next floor of our base. But I might just wait till morning to do that, because I noticed in watching some of these recordings that I'm making that even when it's kind of like twilight like this, it's almost impossible to see. So sorry about that, guys. I didn't even realize until I went back and watched the first 2 episodes again. Well, for now, we'll light these fires. We'll kick the tires and we'll light the fires. Anyone gets that reference, that would be funny. Alright. So we'll just kind of let those things cook and smelt all night. We got the doors going. I took the liberty of putting another door up here, so that just in case anyone decides to somehow jump, I don't know, maybe they'll construct stairs or something and jump up here, they will be trapped basically in this little airlock. Actually, that's not true. They won't really be trapped. They'll just walk right back out. But still, they won't be able to come in here and steal our goods. That's the main thing. Alright, so I just might pause it until dawn. So I might just show you a couple more things here. It's still nighttime. From our smelting, we have accumulated a good deal of this yellow sulfur powder and a good deal of charcoal. So what I might do is just turn this on for a little more light. What I might do is craft them, show you what you can really do with those. You can make some gunpowder. So go over to gunpowder here. Requires 2 charcoal, 2 sulfur, but let's max it out. So we can use it all and make 213 gunpowder. And there's really nothing we can do with gunpowder at the moment. Actually, that's not true. We can make 9mm ammo, which requires gunpowder and metal fragments. We don't have a 9mm weapon at the moment, but we have a lot of gunpowder now. So we've taken most of the sulfur and almost all the charcoal. We've made 213 gunpowder. I've also crafted myself a metal hatchet using wood and metal fragments. Just resources. It gathers a little bit faster. So we have 238 gunpowder, and we can definitely make more. Let's just go over here. Let's take out the metal. We have a lot of metal now, and let's make some 9mm ammo. So I'll come over here. 9mm requires fragments and gunpowder. So let's make 10 bullets for ourselves here. Takes practically no time at all. Alright, and tell you what, we can actually make a gun, believe it or not. Now I've never actually had much success using the pipe shotty or the hand cannon here. Let's make a revolver. It's not the most powerful thing, but so we need wood, cloth, and metal fragments. So let's go grab those items. Cloth, wood, cloth, and metal. We'll make ourselves the basic revolver. Now, if your crafting times are a lot higher than mine, it's probably because you joined a server that has like a decent amount of craft time. This one I didn't even realize it must be half craft because it crafts so fast. All right, and there's our revolver. Let's just put it in spot 3. Let's take it out. And there it is. It only has 1 bullet, so let's reload it. So now we have a trusty revolver. Now I say trusty very loosely. It's not very powerful. It'll take definitely a good clip, a good full clip to kill somebody, unless you're a crack shot and you can hit them right in the head. But I noticed a lot of times when you're kind of walking around resource gathering, if you're not really paying attention, which if you're me, that's pretty common, you can kind of get caught by surprise, and you might wheel around to see a guy already aiming a shotgun right at your face. So you don't really have a whole lot of time to sit there and right-click and aim, unless first-person shooters are just your thing. I'm not very quick at them, so even though I have a gun, it's like you're not invincible even if you get a gun. I know. I made that mistake a few times playing in some hardcore PvP servers. I kind of hermited myself up at a mountain until I made a basic shelter and was able to craft a revolver, and I'm thinking, alright, I'm good to go now, I'm a badass. So I went down the mountain to try to look for some trouble, and I basically ended up getting owned by some guys with some heavier weaponry. Speaking of heavier weaponry, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they take out some of the more military grade weaponry. I mean, at the moment you can craft, military grade shotguns, you can craft MP5s really, and you can craft, I think the best rifle is the M4A1 carbine. You can actually craft that in this game, and I think it's just kind of silly to make military grade weapons, and it doesn't really fit the feel and theme of this game, in my opinion. I hope soon at some point they take those out and add a more selection of crude weaponry, more like the pipe shotgun, where if you ever craft a pipe shotgun, it just looks like someone took some mufflers and some wood and stuck them together and made a shotgun. I like that. That kind of fits more with the theme here, rather than people running around hacking at trees and then suddenly able to craft an M4A1. But again, that's just my opinion. We'll see what actually happens. Like I said, most of the stuff in this recording is probably going to be different in only a short amount of time. So for now, it is very fun to just kind of run around, gather resources, build a fort, and interact with people. So it's enough to hold my attention at the moment. But anyways, it should be about midnight right now, and yep. So let's just, again, I'm going to pause it until it's dawn comes, and then we're going to continue constructing our base here. Okay, welcome back, and it looks like my friend Brian has actually found me. I heard him walking up before, and I poked my head out the top and I heard an arrow go whizzing by, and sure enough, that's him. He's out there somewhere in those hills right now, probably up on those mountains, just waiting for me to poke my head out. So what better opportunity than to show you guys a little PvP. So, lesson 3, house defense. Here he comes. He's right outside the door there. In fact, I see him. Yep, there he is. Oh, he's building something. And he killed me. He had an MP5. That's bullcrap. My ass. Okay, har har har. Nice MP5, by the way.
You know what's funny? It won't let me actually build a staircase next to your property. Like, I was gonna build a staircase here, and it won't let me.
That's weird.
Here, hang on. Take this. See if if it green places it for you.
Nope.
Huh. I wonder what happened. That's weird. That's really, really weird.
Yeah, usually you're able to do it. I know that. That's strange.
But you were smart anyways, and you have a door on your stairwell.
Well, of course. It's funny because in this episode I was just about to explain to these guys about putting foundations on the outside of your walls when you just started doing that for me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. See, guys, this is what...
Now you can have
These are the things. These are the things. But we will talk about that in a bit. So that's a little PvP.
You could have it all if you know you had the space.
Say again?
Hell of all my stuff. Well, you could if you had the space.
Safe. Oh, space, yeah. Just started building it. So I think in this episode we're going to build a little higher. But anyway, thanks, Nirebad. I guess he's running off there. So that is a little PvP. I wanted to save that for a future episode, but that's okay. So let's keep building. Hopefully he isn't going to be a big giant troll and snipe me from far away when I'm trying to build for you guys. But let's just continue on here. Now, for the top here, we're just going to basically want to do the same stuff we did for the bottom. You know, craft the same amount of stuff. Just give me 1 second here, sorry. Okay, so let's start building here. We're going to need to craft ourselves some wooden pillars. Probably about 8 again. And just a little note about that little PvP exchange. Right before I went outside, I made sure to put all my valuables in a box before I ran out there. All I had was basically the gun and some ammo and my bandages. That was it. So that's a very good lesson if you guys ever decide to do a little PvP. Don't put your valuables, don't keep all your valuables in your inventory. Alright, here we go. So we're just going to do about the same thing. Line up the pillars here. like that. Actually, we'll need one more pillar. I keep forgetting that little middle one there. Here we go. Pop that guy right there. Alright, same deal. We're going to want to craft the same types of things here. We're going to want a wooden doorway. I keep half expecting him to come running around, shoot me in the head with a bow. We'll just see what happens. So here's our doorway. Now don't worry if that's not quite lined up with the ramp. It'll be fine, trust me. And we're just going to want to wall this thing up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 7 or 8 walls. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 walls. And if we make extras, that's okay. We can make just 8. Okay, good. So we will craft that. Just gonna run down here. If you craft the stuff in near the workbench, it goes a little faster. Gives it a little boost. Okay, let's go back. And put our walls here. Okay, good. And actually, yeah, we're going to need one more. Put one more right there. But looks like we are just out of wood, so as you can see, we are going to need tons of wood to get this thing going. Here's a couple more wood right there. But I think I'll save it. Let's, what I'm actually going to do is go outside and see if I can chop some more trees down. Get some more wood. Can't actually chop the trees down, but sometimes it's fun to pretend. Alright. Might just leave the revolver in there. Alright, so I'll do that, and when I come back, we'll have some more resources. Just to give you guys a little demonstration here, the metal hatchet is a lot better at collecting resources. Kind of just choose through all these rocks. Look at that. So I highly recommend you guys, as soon as you get those fragments, metal fragments, to definitely craft a metal hatchet. So far so good, haven't run into Nirebad anymore. Although I should knock on wood. Speaking of wood, there's some right there. Perfect. So we'll show what this is like. I think you get 10 per hit. 10 wood per smack. Look at that, you just chew right through that stuff. There's another little valley down here. You spend your out gathering, aren't you? I guess he was going to try to be a troll again. So he's asking if I put a little code on the door, and because I know him, I might share him the code, but probably not actually. But again, you should never give your code to anybody, even if you kind of know him. Like, say you're running, you become like instant gamer buddies online. Never really give them the code, because they could be trolls, and as soon as you walk away or log out, you'll come back in and all your stuff is suddenly mysteriously missing, and your friend is nowhere to be found. Alright, so I'll pause it again until I get some more resources. Alright, we're back. I've grabbed a bunch more wood, and we're going to continue building our little area up here. Starting with this last little wall. And there we go. And next we should put a ceiling, or a couple ceilings. Need 3 of them. Again, we'll drop down here and go to the workbench. That'll make it go a little bit faster. My good friend Nirebad here was nice enough to try to break in, so we crafted us a little wooden stairs, so we can actually use that in our next level. So thank you, Nirebad. Alright, so but let's put the ceiling in first. And I'll kind of explain what that means. I'll explain why he used stairs in a second here. So let's go ahead and put these in much the same fashion. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard to get a good... There we go. There we have it. So that'll bring us up to our top level, where we can build the last level. And again, we're going to want to put a door, a metal door there, just in case anyone thinks they're smart or whatnot and they want to jump through the ceiling. And they, you know, at this point they could, but they will be stopped at the door, which we are going to construct. Yeah, I remember when that door used to take, I think, 30 seconds. So if you were like down to the wire trying to get that door up, you were just biting your nails that whole time. But now it's pretty fast with the workbench. Alright, let's press the 6 key and there we are. So this is going to be really our main floor of activity, just because it's pretty much the most secure. And so let me just talk about that now. Why he was constructing a staircase outside the house. So if you look, he started putting foundations around, and the reason for that is normally if you put foundations down, you can put, you can obviously build stuff on top of it. You can't put like stairs, for example, on the ground. You have to put a foundation. So he was going to try to put a foundation and a staircase up to my then uncovered second floor and simply drop down. But even, let's say even he did successfully manage to do that, I had a door here anyway, so he would just drop down and be stuck in that little area. He wouldn't have been able to get to anything. But, so that's that. And so what we can do, there's a way to stop that from happening. There's a couple ways, actually. And one of them is with you put the foundations down yourself, but instead of leaving them open, you put pillars right in the middle of them. And what that'll do is stop a player from using that foundation to build any sort of ramp to get up there. But we'll in subsequent episodes we will actually do more of that. I think in this case, it's time to, well, we're gonna finish up here. We're gonna probably put a little more furnishings. We're actually gonna put our sleeping bag up there, just because that's again a safer location. You can just hit pick up right there, and we might actually build another furnace and another campfire to put up there too. Now, you don't have to do that, but I might, just because I'm lazy and I don't, like, if I'm going to be hanging out up here on the second floor, I'm not going to feel like walking down the stairs to craft stuff. But for now, I'll put it in much the same location or similar location. I'll put it right about here, and there we go. So let's now go down here, and what I think I'll do is I'll start crafting some guns, and in the next episode we'll go on a raid, and we'll actually try to raid that little rad town there, that little rad village. Maybe we can get some goods out of there, some more blueprints, so we can craft some better weapons. And there's a larger storage box that you can make that holds a lot more stuff, and that's like ideally the next thing you're going to want, because as you can see, I'm kind of filling up these boxes like crazy. So we're going to want to put some better means of storage around the house there. But until then, we'll see you next time.